So the hope is that every couple of years we get a Superman that is worthy of the moment, that makes us stand a little taller. And in 2025, James Gunn gave us a vision of Superman that helps us connect this time to the alien part of him. When I saw that DC was set to release this vision of Superman many months ago, I was like, wow, we spend so much money retelling these stories to each other. Superman came from the mind of the children of Jewish immigrants, and they toiled for years to get just anyone to take them seriously with this idea. So much rejection, and they finally got him released in the spring of 1938. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster's creative gamble soared. And guess what? Superman's remained a beloved part of our culture ever since. Outsiders everywhere have found a home in Superman's story. He's an alien from another country who ends up being adopted and then adopting a new culture, this Midwestern one, and balancing this dual identity for the rest of his life. Superman is having an immigrant experience. Whether he's loathed or wanted, no matter what he does, it depends on the rise and fall of public opinion. And he is the child of people who loved him more than land itself. To Superman's celestial parents, it was far more important that he survive than remain on this imploding planet. Superman loves his family, he loves his home, but he also grieves his biological parents. He grieves the loss of his heritage and his homeland, Krypton. And yet this is still home. This is where he works, this is where he lives, this is where he loves. He works and secretly contributes to the society in ways that people don't appreciate to the extent that they should. This doesn't have to be turned into a story that resonates with immigrants because it always has been one. James Gunn also makes a choice to make sure that Superman's alien status, it's thrown in his face by his detractors multiple times. And it makes narrative sense because one of the politics of all superhero movies is, what does the home country do in the face of this kind of power? What does it mean to have borders in all these nation states when people with extraordinary circumstances and resilience and love and strength and hope choose to try to find a way for themselves and other people? What if they find themselves just trying to survive and help other innocent people? Superman struggles with his creed to just do the right next thing, especially in a place that is trying to find ways to justify wiping out whole groups of people for a cash grab. All these unfair rules and legalities that have to be respected and that power demands be respected while they run over the humanity of other people. Spoiler alert ahead, so please pause now if you want to watch spoiler free. That Superman is helped in the beginning of this film by an immigrant named Malik Ali, who owns the falafel store, is not lost on me. Malik Ali has fed Superman before. And when we see him here, he's comforting Superman and pulling him out after this battle with the Hammer of Bavaria. We would then expect that this gesture would be neatly tied up and wrapped, delivered to us with a bow by the end of this film, but it's not. Lex Luthor kidnaps Malik Ali and uses him as a threat against Superman to get Superman to reveal his parents' location. He plays literally Russian roulette with Malik Ali's life, and this is destroying Superman. Malik, in an act of bravery, says, "I don't have any family left, Superman. Save your family. Essentially, don't give up any information. Just let him kill me." Malik is willing to die for Superman's family to not be betrayed. Malik sees the good and power in Superman still and connects with his journey. And unfortunately, Malik is killed by Lex Luthor. This, of course, disturbed some film critics. This scene was seen as cheap, a way to throw out a disposable brown immigrant character at the sake of the plot, to advance the plot. While I see that argument, I think it underscores a real timeless attitude that people with private investments and significant power have towards people that they view as disposable. On July 24th, 1973, Santos Rodriguez and his brother David Rodriguez were hanging out in their house in Dallas, Texas. North Texas police officers showed up and they pulled them out of their home. They said, "Hey, there's been a theft at a local vending machine." Crucial here, they had no reason to believe that these boys had done it. The boys insist, "We have no idea what you're talking about. We've just been home." They belonged to a vibrant Mexican-American community and they were loved. David was 13 at the time and Santos was just 12. And yet they were handcuffed and forced to sit in a police car until one of them confessed to this crime. One of the officers decided that he was going to make the boys confess to the theft. He put a gun to Santos's head and he started to play Russian roulette. He was going to scare this child into confessing to stealing. The child didn't have a chance because the second time Officer Darrell Lee Kane pulled his trigger, he shot Santos and killed him. There is no amount of money that is worth a child's life. But that day, our American policing system decided that the worth of Santos's life was $8 missing. This is the same American policing system that after the murder of George Floyd has only increased its civilian killings since then. David lost his brother. This beautiful Mexican community lost their child, their son. They also lost a critical part of their future. Daryl Lee Kane served 2.5 years of a 5-year sentence. Malik Ali may be fictional, but his perceived disposability as a brown immigrant is not. The battle between Superman and Lex Luthor across the years might be fought on a physical plane, but it's about an ideological one. It's a battle to define the worth of ourselves and our neighbors. Are we merely units of consumption to corporations that can be disposed of at will? Or are we citizens of a neighborhood, of people that are each worthy of dignity and respect? James Gunn started filming this film in 2024, February, I believe, and there's no way he could have anticipated all the specifics of what is happening today in current events. The current atrocities that are happening in Florida, my home state, the way ICE has weaponized itself with masks and has started tackling random people. You don't have to know these specifics to film a movie or tell a story like this, because people have always pulled the moves of Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor has a private prison, literally, that makes money off of disappearing people. He has regular old American citizens, innocent looking enough, running his concentration camps and his little tech camps in Hawaiian shirts. He doesn't care about the suffering or the treatment of the people he detains. He doesn't see their humanity, just the ways they get in the way of the plans he and his rich friends have to further enrich themselves. Lex Luthor also pays monkeys to farm outrage against Superman as an illegal alien. He uses Superman's own origin story to strike fear in the hearts of the very American people that he belongs to. It's convenient because if he paints Superman as dangerous and illegal, he can do whatever he wants to him, and the general population that far outnumbers our villain won't do anything about it. You can say that that's on the nose, that that's heavy-handed, but a good number of our fellow Americans, they're missing the nose altogether. They are taking pictures next to the sign in my home state that says Alligator Alcatraz. They are cheering on masked cowards. They are doing nothing as hopeful people checking in with their paperwork are snatched up at courthouses. I think if anything, we need more stories that are on the nose about the way we are susceptible to lies about each other. The ways we as a country are susceptible to telling the same bad, false story over and over again. The same country that said never again after we locked up Japanese American people in internment camps. The same Americans laughing as innocent people are imprisoned in Venezuelan camps while not realizing what this is doing to freedom for everyone. Who do not realize the way that by laughing at somebody else's pain, they are losing their own humanity. Lex Luthor, he's real, and he is currently selling tech to the White House. Our prisons are not in fictional wormholes in another galaxy, but we are being asked to put them in mental wormholes in our mind, to put them away, to ignore the inhumanity that is happening within them, the inhumanity we are funding with our tax dollars. The creators of Superman, Joe and Jerry's families, in the 1940s, they were at risk at being deported to a regime that had no issue destroying them. The very regime Elon Musk winked at with that stupid, hateful salute. The very creators of this American hero, they belong to a people group that so many Americans did not care whether they lived or died. People they were happy to deport to their death. Santos in reality and Malik in fiction were both killed, yes, by guns, but first they were killed by the indifference of a collective society. The kind of indifference our Superman does not bow to. Of course, Superman can't help but be an immigrant story, because ultimately it's an American one. And for at least 2 hours and 10 minutes in a cold theater, I hope we can sit with that and think about what that might mean. That we will remember that Superman's greatest ability is one we share, and that's the power to see the humanity in the person in front of us. To know that that person is worthy of dignity and respect. I hope we leave the theater aware that that power is and has always been in our hands.